Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you very much for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Let's take another look here at Solana, see what's going on. We're working our way down this descending trend, lost our local support there at about 146, made a run towards like the 140 range, which is all fairly anticipated because of just how Bitcoin's performing and altcoins doing poorly versus Bitcoin right now as Bitcoin dominance increases. This is again the effect, not the cause, but this kind of gives us an indication of how poorly altcoins have been behaving in the last 24 hours. So as I mentioned yesterday, do not take longs on alts, consider some shorts. We did the same thing ourselves. We took a short on Caspa, for example, from basically 9.3 down to about 8.5, secured a good 31%. And then of course, Solana shorts at 26%. So all the naysayers can eat it today. I mean that nicely, of course, because some folks are just hell-bent on being very bullish on coins, just based on the simple fact that the market has broken bullish. That's how a lot of people see it. But the truth is it needs to pull back and capitulate, even though Bitcoin, I've been saying for a week, Bitcoin's going to pull back, and it still truly hasn't yet. I think there's a distinct probability it will. It's ranging too long. It's lost its rising wedge, and it's a ascending trend line. There's a lot of reasons for that. Anyways, we're not here for that, but you need to recognize that Bitcoin is performing poorly and altcoins are performing worse. Therefore, not a great call to take along with leverage. Spot bags, different story. So take a look here, liquidation. We talked about this yesterday. That was the next target, which is exactly where our take profit target was, in the low 142 range. We can see here 142 to 145 is that lower area of liquidation. A pretty big macro amount of liquidation was there. Okay, so now that that's been hit, we may see a relief rally, or we may see 130 to 135 as the next target. Okay, so a lot of things depend on Bitcoin right now, but right now, liquidation delta has remained bearish. It's even higher now. We got about 1.5 billion in liquidation delta, kind of implying, or definitely implying, the bears are in play. We have $1.6 billion more in liquidation delta to the downside than the upside. That's essentially not a good sign if you're trying to take a long. It's kind of like driving into oncoming traffic, folks. It's just not a good idea. It'll get you a thrill, but it's very dangerous, and that's just not what you want to do. All that being said, 146, that previous support, is now the new resistance. We have a lot of people averaging into that level or buying at 146. They're now underwater. If we come back up to 146, we'll see exit liquidity. Price will bearishly backtest and come back down. That's essentially what we're going to see here soon. So 146 may be a consideration for a second short. I don't really think that that's a good idea at this point, because I do personally feel that Solana's looking pretty strong even still. So we got to recognize the macro structures looking fairly decent. We're above all moving averages. Daily time frame looks fairly decent in the ways of remaining above 50 on the RSI. But we have lost our moving average here tentatively. It's still very early, but stochastic swinging down, MACD soon to diverge. There's a lot of reasons why a bit further downside makes sense. Okay, we want to expect the worst and hope for the best. That's the best way to go. And at this point, I don't think it's great to be overly optimistic. Okay, once more, Bitcoin's kind of hanging out at 94,000. What's it going to do? We'll see here soon. I still think we're going to see a power 3 pullback here, but that's just me personally. Now, the 4-hour time frame, we're under all moving averages. Bitcoin is maintaining just barely right there at the 50-day SMA, so still has a chance. But if you see here, we've broken bearish, folks. We are under 50 on the RSI. We have stochastic swinging down. We've got our money flow index below the RSI. These are all bearish signs. So majority of the 4-hour time frame is fully bearish. Only thing it isn't is being above the 200-day SMA at 130. So not like we're going to see 130 per se because of that. It just implies we come into that range, we'll have some support. And if we zoom out here too, just to kind of recognize this here, our point of control, if I'm not mistaken, is right around 125 to 130. So we do have some confluence there in the low 130s. So I'm going to be super interested in a long around 130 to 135 if that comes to pass. Between now and then, we got to see if the support range of 136 to 140 is going to hold. That's essentially a support range for us. So we got to give it time. And that's how trading is, folks. You just got to be patient and wait it out. Some things you can't force. So forcing a trade is never a good idea. That's exactly why you trade with confirmation. That's what I do myself. I trade with confirmation, essentially. So everything I teach you in these videos are things that I'm doing myself. I've been doing this for years, 20 plus years now. So, I just noticed that, being more of a conservative trader in crypto is definitely the right way to go. You're going to see a lot of idiots out there that are telling you to take longs with 20 to 50x leverage. I think that's a very bad idea. It's very irresponsible. And those people are probably just trying to tell you to do that because they don't know what the hell they're doing. Anyways, conversation for another day. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know what's going on with that, or how I feel about those. Anyways, this is obviously also a head and shoulders pattern, not the cleanest, but we got the head and the 2 shoulders. So there's a myriad of reasons why the price pulled back. Now, is it going to go back further? We got to see the support range holds. Okay. Last but not least, if you want to trade with confirmation and or support with our community, etc., all these wonderful things here, jump on over here. We got an awesome community. Also, thanks for being patient. I've been a little late. Had to watch my son this morning here because our babysitter called out. But I do want you to take advantage of this exclusive benefit from Bitunix. If you haven't traded with them yet already, use them. They've been phenomenal to us. But look at this. Easy deposit reward bonus. Just you deposit $2,000, you get $400. It's simple. So to my community members, wait for tomorrow. I think it's probably already tomorrow in Singapore. So feel free to check that out, but use the link down below if you're curious. I hope you have a good rest of your day, though. Thanks again so much for being an awesome part of my life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. We'll see you in the next one. Take care out there.